Good morning, dear students. In today's class, we are going to see about the time response analysis of second order control system. So, we all know the order of the control system is determined by the power of s in the denominator of its transfer function. So, if the power of s in the denominator is of a control system is 2, then that type of system is said to be second order system, right? So looking into this figure, here the power of this denominator term is equal to s equal to 2, so it can be represented as a second order system. So we have to find out the transfer function of the system. Here this gain is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n, right? So this value is nothing but zeta. We have to write the value like this, right? So here we have in this function we have zeta and omega n. So both are, the zeta is the damping ratio and omega n is the natural frequency of the system. Where here we have the value of zeta, right? So this zeta describes the decay of the oscillation. That is, here the definition for this zeta is ratio of actual damping to the critical damping, right? Again, here we have the omega n. So omega n is nothing but a natural frequency. Let us have a simple example about the natural frequency. We all have know about the pendulum, right? So let us consider a simple pendulum. If there is no friction, it will be continuously oscillating, right? So it does not come to the stable position. So at finite times, it continuously oscillates, and that oscillating frequency is called as natural frequency, right? So here this omega n represents, yes, we have two values, one is zeta and one is omega n. Here this zeta represents the damping ratio. Damping ratio is nothing but actual damping to the critical damping. That is ratio of actual damping to the critical damping. So this zeta describes the decay of oscillations. That is reduce the, it is used to reduce the oscillations, right? Again, here we have omega n. Omega n is the angular frequency. So angular frequency if there is no friction, right? So in the simple pendulum, if we are not giving any friction, so it will continuously oscillate and it does not come to stable position, right? So at a finite times it continuously oscillates. That oscillating frequency is called as natural frequency. Therefore omega, what it will be omega n? So angular frequency at which system tends to oscillate in the absence of damping force. Damping force is nothing but in the case of friction. So here friction is one of the damping force, right? So omega n is the angular frequency at which the system tends to oscillate in the absence of damping ratio. So without any damping force, this angular frequency tends to oscillate. That is called as omega n. So already I have said the damping is used to reduce the oscillations, right? So now we have to find out the closed loop transfer function for this system. So this is a second order system. Now we have to find out the closed loop transfer function. So how we can find out? Here we have the value. I have missed this value of R of S. So R of S input and here C of S is the output. So we have to find the closed loop transfer function. So here this arrow pointing towards negative, right? So it is for negative feedback. So how we can solve the negative feedback? By using the formula G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. So in this block diagram, the value of G of S is equal to omega n square divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega n, yes, and the value H of S, this is nothing but unity feedback system, right? So the value H of S is equal to 1. So by substituting the value of G of S and H of S in this equation, we will be getting, right? So the value of G of S is equal to omega n square plus S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus 1 plus omega n square divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns. So taking LCM on this denominator term, right? So taking LCM on this denominator term, here both this denominator get cancelled. So we will be getting the value like this, omega n square. So we will be getting the value as omega n square divided by s square plus 2 theta omega ns plus omega n square. So here also we have the denominator term, right? So both the denominator term get cancelled. So we'll be getting the value as omega n square divided by s square plus 2 theta omega ns plus omega n square. So this is the this is the transfer function for the second order system, that is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 theta omega ns plus omega n square. So here the denominator term is not visible, right? So here the same term will be coming to here also. We are just cancelling each other, and the final solution of answer is C of s divided by R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 theta omega ns plus omega n square. So next one is the response of C of t of the second order system depends on the value of damping ratio. So depending upon the value of zeta of the control system, it can be classified into 4 cases. Case 1 is undamped system, that is the value of theta will be equal to 0, right? Again, case 2 underdamped system, here the value of 0 less than theta less than 1. And here case 3 critical damped system, theta is equal to 1, and in case 4 overdamped system, theta is greater than 1. Okay, so depending upon the value, so here theta, we all know the theta is to reduce the oscillation or prevent the oscillation, right? So again here we have the value of omega d. Once again here we have the value omega d. So let us see what do you mean by omega d. Omega d is the damping frequency. So damping frequency means if there is a damping force in a pendulum. For example, if you are considering a pendulum, if there is a damping force in the pendulum, at first it will oscillate, right? Just imagine the simple pendulum, right? At first it will oscillate, and if the time goes on, oscillation get reduced, right? So if your time tends to infinity, so it goes on, oscillation get reduced, and finally it reaches the stable portion. That is called damping frequency. So here we have actually in second order system we have 3 components. One is zeta, one is omega n, and another one is omega d, right? Omega suffix d. So we know theta is the damping ratio, omega n is the natural frequency, and omega d is the damping frequency, right? So here the omega d is the angular frequency at which system tends to oscillate in the presence of damping force. So due to the presence of damping force, the system gets oscillating. Therefore, the value of omega d is equal to omega n into root of 1 minus theta square. So if there is no damping force, right? If there is no damping force means the value of theta will be equal to 0. So the value of omega d will be equal to omega n. So damping frequency always depends on natural frequency and damping force, right? So depending upon the value of theta, it can be classified into 4 cases. The first one is undamped system. So undamped system means there is no theta value. The theta value will be equal to 0. That is, system keeps on oscillating at its natural frequency without any decay in the amplitude, right? So undamped system, we will be getting a sustained type of oscillations, right? That is, we have learned in the EC2, right? So there is no oscillation, it will be in a sustained type. Modulus of A beta will be equal to 1, right? That will be occurred in the undamped system. So system keeps on oscillating at its natural frequency without any decay in the amplitude. So next one is underdamped system. So underdamped system, the theta value lies between 0 to 1. So 0 less than, theta value less than 1. So undamped system oscillates, but the amplitude of oscillation gradually decreases to 0, right? So there we have the system will oscillate, but the amplitude of oscillation gradually decreases to 0. But in undamped condition, frequency, there we have a natural frequency. So in the natural frequency, there will be no decay in the amplitude. But here in undamped system, there will be gradually, this amplitude will be oscillating and gradually reduces to 0. So this is practically existing system. Nowadays, we are the existing system is this undamped system. Next one is critically damped. So critically damped system, the theta value will be equal to 1. So it will reach us the here this oscillation it will reach us the steady state in short possible time. That is called critically damped system. So again, we have overdamped system. In the overdamped system, the theta value will be greater than 1. That is, in overdamped system, transient in the system decays exponentially to steady state without any oscillation. It will reach the steady state without any oscillation. So depending upon these 4 oscillations, here we have undamped system, right? So while we are analyzing the stability of the system, this undamped system lies in marginally stable system, that is sustained oscillation. Again, here we have undamped system, critically damped and overdamped, right? So these 3 categories will be in the stable system, right? So if theta is negative means it is an unstable system. If the value of theta is negative means that type of system is called as unstable system, right? So now we are going for the analysis of second order system. For that, we will be considering the characteristics equation of the second order system. That is the denominator polynomial of the, that is the denominator polynomial of the equation. So that is called s square plus 2 theta omega n plus omega n square. So to find the roots of this second order equation, we have to solve this equation, right? So it will be looking like a quadratic equation. So how we can solve the quadratic equation means by using the formula minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So I'll see this expression. Here the value of a will be equal to 1 and here the value of b will be equal to 2 theta omega n and the value of c will be omega n square. Now substituting this a, b, c value in this equation or in this expression, we will be getting the 2 roots, right? So that is for minus b, I am substituting, for minus I am substituting minus, again we have b. So for b 2 theta omega n plus or minus, here we have b square value, b square, so the value of b is 2 theta omega n. So b square means 4 theta square omega n square minus of this 4. Again we are a, the value of a equal to 1 into this value of c will be equal to omega n square divided by 2 into the value of a equal to 1, right? So substituting this, right? So in these 2 terms, which term is common in both the term is 4 omega n square. Take it outside, then we will be getting theta square minus 1, right? So yes, the value of theta square will be equal to 1. So again, we are taking this term out of root. So we will be getting 2 can be, 4 can be written as 2 and omega n square written as omega n, right? So again, these 2 terms, the value of 2 is common, take it outside, we will be getting minus theta omega n plus or minus 2 omega n into theta square minus 1 divided by, sorry, this 2 to get cancelled, right? So this is the roots of the characteristics equation of a second order system. So here we have 2 roots, right? So the S1 is equal to minus theta omega n plus omega n into root of theta square minus 1 and S2 is equal to minus theta omega n plus or minus omega n into, sorry, plus the minus into omega n into root of theta square minus 1. So now let us analyze the 4 categories of 4 cases. First, we can consider the case 1, that is theta is equal to 0, that is undamped condition. So we know undamped condition is system keeps on oscillating at its natural frequency without any decay in the amplitude. Understand? So once again, the undamped condition is the system keeps on oscillating at its natural frequency. So we all know what do you mean natural frequency, right? So natural frequency is an angular frequency at which the system tends to oscillate in the absence of damping force or a friction, right? So here the undamped system is system keeps on oscillating at its natural frequency without any decay in the amplitude. Now we know for undamped condition the value of theta will be equal to 0, right? So substitute in this expression, we have to substitute the value of theta is equal to omega. We will get, right? So here in the left hand side we have S1, S2. So S1, S2 can be written as for substituting the value of theta equal to 0, this whole term gets 0 plus or minus omega n into root of 0 square minus 1. So here we will get me root of minus 1. Root of minus 1 is nothing but j, right? So substituting the value of theta equal to 0, we will be getting the value plus or minus root of, sorry, plus or minus this omega n into root of minus 1. So we know the value of minus 1. Minus 1 is nothing but j, right? So here both the roots are imaginary. So in the S-plane, we will be plotting in the poles like this, right? So we will be getting the value as both the values are purely imaginary. So at undamped condition, both the roots are purely imaginary, right? That's it is said as marginally stable system. It is so this undamped system is otherwise known as marginally stable system. So next we are moving to the case 2. Case 2 is underdamped condition. So at underdamped condition, the zeta value lies between 0 and 1, right? So here also this is the root of S1, S2. So here we have to consider this theta value should be less than 1, right? So while considering this term here, theta square minus 1, so this is showing that the value of theta is greater than 1, right? But the condition is for underdamped condition, the zeta value should be less than 1. So to satisfy that condition, I am taking the minus 1 outside. So it will be 1 minus of theta square, right? So to satisfy this condition, to 0, that is theta value less than 1. So I am taking, just rearranging the term by taking the value of minus 1 outside. So if you are taking minus 1, this term gets negative and this term turns to positive. So again, simplifying this expression, minus theta omega n plus or minus omega n into, here we have root of minus 1. Root of minus 1 is equal to j omega n into root of 1 minus theta square. Already I said the omega d is nothing but a damping frequency, right? So the damping frequency is represented as omega d, and this omega d value is equal to omega n into root of 1 minus theta square, right? So we can substitute here omega n into root of 1 minus theta square. We can substitute the value as omega d. So here also both the roots are complex conjugate, right? So in S-plane it will be lying like this. Here the value of theta is represented here. So here we have j omega d and here we have minus j omega d. So when under damped condition, here both the roots are complex conjugate, right? That is, one root is minus theta omega n plus j omega d. Another root is minus theta omega n minus j omega d. Here the unit of this damped frequency of oscillation, that is damping frequency omega d is equal to radian per second, right? So in S-plane, the underdamped condition will be lying like this, right? So next we are moving to the next case, that is zeta value is equal to 1. Zeta value equal to 1 means that is not very critically damped system. So we know critically damped system means it will reach the steady state in short possible time, right? So within short, it will reach the steady state value. That is called critically damped system. So for critically damped system, in this root, in this value, we have to substitute the value of theta is equal to 1. So if you are substituting the value of theta is equal to 1, here we will get minus omega n plus or minus omega n into 1 minus of 1 is equal to 0. So the whole term gets 0. So we will be getting minus 1. So here both the roots are real and equal, right? So repeated poles will be lying in the same plane. So next we can see the fourth case, that is overdamped system. So for overdamped system, the value of theta will be greater than 1. So we know what do we overdamped system, right? That is, transient in the system decays exponentially to steady state without any oscillations. So as usual, the root is S1, S2 is equal to minus theta omega n plus or minus omega n into root of theta square minus 1, because the value of theta will be greater than 1. So here both the roots are real and unequal, right? So the first root is minus theta omega n plus omega n into root of theta square minus 1, and the second root is minus theta omega n minus of omega n into root of theta square minus 1. So therefore here both the roots are real and unequal. So next we can see about the response of undamped second order system for unit step input. For unit step input means the value of R of t is equal to 1, right? So now we are going for the second order system. For the second order system, we have to know the standard form of closed loop transfer function, that is C of s divided by R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 theta omega ns plus omega n square. So we know for undamped condition, the value of theta will be equal to 0. Now substituting the value of theta is equal to 0 in this expression, we will get C of s divided by R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus omega n square, because these 2 theta omega n turns to 0. So therefore we will be getting the transfer function like this. But now here we are going for response of undamped second order system for unit step input. So for unit step, we know the value of R of t equal to 1. By taking Laplace transform of this value, we will be getting R of s is equal to 1 by s. So C of s is equal to, just by cross multiplying this term, we will be getting C of s is equal to R of s into omega n square divided by s square plus omega n square. So for this R of s, we have to substitute the value as 1 of s because we are using unit step input. So 1 by s into omega n square divided by s square plus omega n square. Right? So now we have to solve this equation and find out the time response analysis for this system. For that, we have to go for a partial fraction expansion. So how we can go for partial fraction expansion? So in this term, we have to cross multiply this term. So the value of C of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus omega n square, s into s square plus, because by taking the LCM value, we will be getting s into s square plus omega n square. So the partial fraction method. So here we have first order system. So a by s plus. Here we have having second order system, right? So for the second order system, the partial fraction terms can be written as bs plus c divided by s square plus omega n square, right? So for first order system, we can represent it in a single constant value, that a by s plus. Here we have the second order system because the power of s is 2. So we have to represent the partial fraction method. We have to express this second order term as bs plus c. Now considering these two terms, right, just by rearranging this term, we will be getting the value like this. Both the denominator terms are same, so we can cancel each other. Then we will be getting omega n square is equal to a into s square plus omega n square plus s into bs plus c, right? Just I am taking the s outside and we will be getting bs plus c. So now we have to find out the a, b and c value to find out the time response analysis of this system. So to find out the a, we have to come here in the a term, we have this omega n square, right? So we have to compare the omega n square terms. So here we have only one omega n square term, that is omega n square equal to a into omega n square. So we will be getting omega n square get cancelled. So we will be getting the value a equal to 1. Next, to find out the b, we have to come, what is the coefficient of b? S square, right? So we have to compare the s square term. So we will be getting, so in the left hand side there is no s square term. So it will be getting 0 is equal to a s square plus b s square, right? So just we are comparing the s square term. So we will be getting a plus b. So already we have find out the value of a. So a plus b is equal to 0. We know the value of a is equal to 1. By substituting this, we will be getting the value of b is equal to minus 1. So once again, I will repeat this, right? To find out the coefficient of a, b and c, first we have to compare the coefficient of a, right? So to solve this, I am just comparing this omega n square. So in the whole term, the omega n square term lying the a in this first term and in the left hand side, right? So we will be getting omega n square is equal to a into omega n square. Omega n square cancel. So we will be getting the value of a equal to 1. So next we have to find out the value of b. So what is the coefficient of b? S square, right? Just comparing the s square terms. In the left hand side there is no s square term. So I have substituted 0. Here we have a s square plus b s square, right? So just we are comparing the s square term. It will be equal to 0 is equal to a plus b. So implies what is the value of b is equal to minus a. Already we have found out the value of a is equal to 1. So by substituting this, we will be getting b is equal to minus 1. So to find out the c, what is the coefficient of c? Yes, right? So comparing the s term, in the left hand side there is no s term, so it will be equal to 0. In the right hand side only we have c. So automatically the value of c will be equal to 0. Now we have to substitute the value of a, b, c in this expression, right? So what is the value of a? 1 by s plus b minus of s plus 0 divided by s square plus omega n square. So it is written here. So by rearranging this term, we will be getting 1 by s minus of s divided by s square plus omega n square. Now to find out the time response analysis, we have to convert or we have to take the inverse Laplace transform, right? So to convert this frequency domain into S domain response, we have to take the inverse Laplace transform. So the value of, by taking the inverse Laplace transform of C of S, it can be converted to C of T. So the value of C of T is equal to inverse Laplace transform C of S. So what is the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by S? 1. Again, s divided by s square plus omega n square is equal to cos omega nt, because here we know the actually in default we know the formula for s divided by s square plus a square is equal to cos at. Here the value of a is nothing but omega n, right? So by using this relation, we can write this s divided by s square plus omega n square is equal to cos omega nt, right? So it's in the response, this is for the step input. So by substituting the value of 0 for this, first we have to substitute t is equal to 0. This term will be equal to 0. We will be 1 minus of cos 0 value is equal to 1, 0. Again by substituting the value of 1, it will be increasing, and a particular term it will be reducing, and it will be producing a sustained type of oscillation of waveform like this, right? So this is the response for the under system for a unit step response, right? Thank you, students.